Nuno, 3 wins out of 3. What a start for you. Looking good.
Yeah, I think we work hard. We have been working very hard. The boys are being very committed to an idea, to how we want to be. And we still have a lot of things to improve. We go beyond our own limits when we need them. And this is what the boys did today. It was a tough game, a very tough game, because Watford was very organized. But when it was necessary, we stick together and we work for the team. So this is the spirit.
You nearly got to half-time at 0-0, and then Son took the free kick. But how frustrating was that for you?
It's, you know what is the level of the player you have in front. I think we have the control of the game. We stop the space behind. We have our chance in the transitions, and you know, in this action, we lose the points. It's no problem. It's the moment for keep going, and it's the moment for continue with the same attitude.
Tell us about that goal, that free kick.
I try to bring the good delivery for the others, but if nobody touches it and the ball goes in, I would obviously definitely take it.
And your reaction to knowing that you've got your attacking partner, Harry Kane, the fact that he's going to stay at the club?
I'm buzzing, you know, like I play one of the best strikers in the world in our club. So he's a legend in the football and for this club. I mean, every time when I play with him, it's so enjoyable.
It's been a great start for Tottenham, as you can see. They haven't conceded a goal yet. Before we come on to them and how they played, let's deal with Watford first of all, because Cisco Munoz was quite happy with their performance. The expected goals weren't that different between the two sides. They had over 40% possession. There's something there for them.
There is, but I felt like they lacked belief, if I'm totally honest.
It's been a great start for Tottenham, as you can see. They haven't conceded a goal yet. Before we come on to them and how they played, let's deal with Watford first of all, because Cisco Munoz was quite happy with their performance. The expected goals weren't that different between the two sides. They had over 40% possession. There's something there for them.
There is, but I felt like they lacked belief, if I'm totally honest with you. I felt like they kind of let Tottenham off the hook a little bit today. They set up in a very stubborn formation, in a 4-5-1 formation, which I'll highlight here. This is tough to play against when teams come and play like this. But the fact of the matter is, you're set up like this to play counter-attacking football. They're looking at Tottenham and going, they can cause us problems, and as you heard the manager say, kill the space in behind, because that's where we feel like they're at their best. And when we get it, we break, we get forward. And there were a couple of spells in the first half where they managed to do that. And when they break, they've got pace, they've got Josh King, they've got Dennis on that left-hand side, Sarr, Sissoko breaking from midfield, and you thought, you know what? If they keep this up and Spurs are not switched on, they'll get caught in the transition, they'll get caught on the counter-attack. And there were a couple of times, like I said here, this one comes out to Kachuka, and it's a good block from Eric Dyer in the end. There's that stubborn formation again. My issue with it was they just didn't do it enough. I looked at them and I just thought, God, it looks like an easy day in midfield for Tottenham today.
Would you expect Watford to go to Spurs and sit in a 4-5-1? Would you expect them to go to Tottenham to do that? I'd expect them to go to City to do it. But
this is what I was battling in my mind with. I was kind of looking at it and going, well, Tottenham are a good side. Yeah. You know, right now, I've got some top players, but you got Tanganga, Dyer, Sanchez, Højbjerg, Skip in that kind of defensive area of the players that I would say you don't need to sit off them. You can go and press those players, and I think you'll get your rewards. But you know, this is them at a goal down, showing a little bit more belief, getting forward, getting bodies forward. And at this point here, this is the start of the second half. I thought, right, they've had a team talk, they're going to give it a go. And you know, when this chance comes to Sarr here, gets blocked, I think, by Davinson Sanchez.
Is it about gauging where they are? I mean, they flew at Villa in that first game, went 3-0 up against Villa in that first game, and they held on for a 3-2 win. Is it about trying to gauge where they are as a group and their level before they go for it a bit
Potentially, and I think maybe the manager's kind of dealing with that as well, kind of understanding where he's at, where his team are actually at. I just felt like they had more today, and they
too much respect, maybe.
Too much. I felt like they're showing Tottenham way too much respect. Tottenham are a good side, and you know they wanted to frustrate them and catch them on the counter attack, but in my opinion, they had more to offer.
Well, defensively, as we mentioned, they're solid at Tottenham at the moment. Yeah. What else is changing under Nuno this early on?
I think going forward, they're looking very enjoyable to watch. just old school pass and move mentality. You know, that philosophy that Nuno seems to have got into the players. Every player that is on the ball has options, and that is something that maybe was a little bit different from last season. You can see Harry Kane pointing to a spot where there's some space, but immediately Tanganga is on his way. He's like, right, there's the space in behind, let me make something happen. Granted, the chance doesn't come from it, but a goal, doesn't come from it, but there's bodies in the box to try and make something happen. I mentioned that kind of pass and move mentality, pass from Dele Alli. OK, what happens next? OK, Harry Kane's got the ball, let me get round you. Son, let me break those lines to try and get in behind this Watford defence. No, I'm not done there. I need to support him. The player on the ball needs help. I'm going to go and support him. Dele makes another move. Even when they lose the ball and you feel like the attack's broken down, there's a positive nature. Let's win it back. Let's make something happen. Reguilon makes a run this time. Everybody seems to have an option when they have the ball. It makes the game so much easier. You've got Reguilon popping up into like a forwards position on this occasion here. Watch this little move from Bergwijn. It's the same run. Once he gets round Reguilon, this is why these runs are important. Cathcart has to take a little step here. Look at him. It just bought in half a second for Reguilon. Opened up a little gap. If it's a better ball,
I think when you are a player in this Spurs side, when you have movement like that, the game becomes so easy.
Correct.
Because you've got 3 or 4 options, haven't you?
Exactly. And it opened up in the second half. And that little run there with Son and Kane and Dele, it's something I expect to see a lot more of. Kane nearly gets his tap in, but you know, you're spot on, Dion. I think the game becomes so much easier when people are moving. You got options on the ball, and Spurs had that today.
But often we saw maybe last season at 1-0, they settled for 1-0.
Yeah.
And you said, he says when later on it opens up and gets easier. Well, they didn't take advantage because they sat deeper last season.
Yeah, and you know, is that their way? I just believe they've got it right so far. They've got it right. Watford got it wrong. I think Spurs are getting it right. You can see by the results.